it's without a doubt that you should give content creation a shot, no matter your age. And I imagine that you're probably 40, 50, 60 plus years old. You've lived life, you've done a lot, you've achieved a lot, you've failed a lot. And there's actually huge opportunity for you to help many people online. And this is going to be a part 2 conversation to a conversation re-released a few months ago that has gotten well over 140,000 views at the time of filming this. And I have with me art.mp4, who's going to moderate the conversation. And then I have back Mr. Michael Zuber.
There you go. Thanks for the opportunity. This should be fun. I've never done one of these before.
Yeah, and this is out of the norm, but I would imagine if you haven't already seen that conversation, I would encourage you to go check it out. And maybe you have. You might see this video because you actually watched that conversation. In this episode, we actually wanted to go through some of the comments on that video because I imagine those comments, I find oftentimes that comments reveal either limiting beliefs, they're projecting maybe something they're unsure of, and we just want to help bring clarity to that. And so I would encourage you to check that out. But since you're on this one, let's just give a quick synopsis of essentially why we believe that resonated so well. I'll start, and then I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Mm-hmm. I believe that last conversation resonated so well. Number one, I feel like there's a thought out there that you have to be young to create content. And the reality is the best content that performs is usually content that is great, like content value.
Right.
And so I can't imagine that by default, people who have lived life just have a better head start because there's just so much to an individual. And I find that people that like interesting content, it's because the person who's creating it is interesting. And so that would be my reason on why it went really well. And there's a lot of people that have something in them that they want to share. Go ahead.
Yeah, when because I always take a special interest in commenting on videos that I'm a part of, at least the first week that they are out, which I did on your channel. And there were two things that hit me. One was the stories, right? A lot of people said, "Hey, I'm 40, I'm 55." I believe there was one that said, "I'm 75."
Wow.
And doing this, and it was such a good feeling to be a part of something that moved a lot of people, right? As somebody who creates content on his own channel and reads every single comment, the ones that came on yours were deep, were emotional, were meaningful. And of anything I've ever been a part of, it was a very unique experience. So the opportunity to do 2.0 and go deeper is a true pleasure.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys reached, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, do you think it was like the packaging was just so perfect that YouTube really just sent it out to the right people? Because, 41% of the viewers on that video were 35 to 44. And then it was 36% were 45 to 54. And then 55 to 64. And then 65 years and, or 65 and up is 1.9%. But like, those were all the viewers' ages on that.
I believe it is a underserved topic. Number one. Mm-hmm. And we're talking like how much underserved topic. It's like total addressable market's high though too, mm-hmm. Supply and demand. And so I think that's one reason why it did really well. And I always set out, like, one of the goals for the podcast is anytime we can have a conversation, can we create the greatest conversation about that thing?
Yeah.
And I believe we accomplished that with the limited time we even had.
Yeah.
I think what's even cool about this scenario right here is we actually have 3 generations represented.
We got 2.0, 1.5, and what, 0.5 over here?
But yeah, Art's Gen Z, I'm millennial, and Gen X.
Yeah, don't call me a boomer.
Yeah, what would be a boomer next up?
Yeah, next would be a boomer.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be my mom.
Dang, that means like when you say boomer, you're actually talking about people even older than me.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but it's just like,
I know, it's just to say.
Like, when you do something that's out of your age range, I'm like, okay, boomer.
Okay, so we want to get into some of these comments.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, that when you grew up, did you look at millennials like we were entitled, like, don't like working hard, like, generation?
Mm-hmm. So just to be clear, I have a daughter who is a millennial.
Okay.
And yeah, I would say generally speaking, yeah, that was, and it's unfair. baby boomers looked at us as slackers and,
Okay.
all of this. So it's
I
just
just
a
I just thought
generational
I
thing.
was crazy.
No,
No,
he's
no,
asking
because I
that-
think that about Gen
no,
Z.
No. He's asking that because everything wrong with the world, it's Gen Z's fault.
No,
That's
it's not
why.
true.
Yeah. Yes,
It's somewhat true.
It's only somewhat true.
No, I'm just kidding. No, okay, that's good
hilarious.
insight. Yeah.
Okay, what do we want to hop into the
Let's hop
comments?
in, man.
Okay, so the first one, this is a powerful one. At the Turning Point podcast, that's who commented this. He goes, I'm 75 and I appreciate this information. Not only do I not know how to edit and it's expensive, however, hearing you guys just say record and put it out there just registered in my mind.
Sometimes people just need it plain. But I would say even that is more difficult than what you tell people to do, which you're like, don't record a video,
Just go live.
just go live.
Yeah,
And-
but again, it's about permission. I think a lot of, if you're talking about my age group and above, and 75 is older than I am. Even though I know I look old, but I'm not 75. We just need permission, because if we don't know in what we're watching on YouTube or watching Mr. Beast or any of the other folks, we think that's the only way it happens.
Mhm.
No, you can literally just record, or if I say just go live, mistakes and all, and publish it. I actually think going forward, I'd be shocked if it's not 25, it might be 26, that the trend in unedited takes over for highly polished. So
For sure.
again, not only do you have permission, but I think most people should
Right.
go live or record and post and just be done.
Yep. I've tested that. Well, and that was even, the minimal editing that even goes into this, like we use an auto switcher, there is a little bit of setting up, but if we went one wide angle and we just hit record on a camera, we can just upload that file directly too. So yeah, I think you have the permission, if you're listening or watching this, you have the permission to upload a video that is not edited, and you have the permission to just go live. I would encourage you to just learn. Like, talking to the camera in and of itself is intimidating. So
Yeah.
just go live.
Practice, go.
Yeah. There's this video of an older guy. I just remember it was actually a little bit over a year ago. He's like sitting in front of his bonfire. He has a cigar.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And it's just his
It went
phone.
crazy
Yeah, and
viral.
he's just talking. It's like, I imagine I would love to do that by the time I
There you go.
get there. But anyway, you
All
got
right.
this.
Next one. At Marissa Andrea. I needed this today. I turned 40 in August, but feel like I have lived many lives. I would love to share those with others, and it would probably be another layer of healing for me.
Yeah, I think when you're starting a YouTube channel, especially if you're older, you only have 3 choices, right? You can choose a passion or an interest or hobby that you've had for decades. Or step 2 is you've lived life and it's been hard and you've been through it, but it's still hard and it still wears on you. And I've met many people who've created channels around significant trauma. We're talking loss of a child. We're talking about divorce. We're talking about sudden job loss. And, like we're talking the day after the horrific LA fires, and there's just some people creating content is healing. And oh, by the way, what's really crazy is the healing content will help somebody else, because there's one person that watched the video and commented on the video, is a buddy of mine, and he survived cancer at 28. Right, talking about a kick in the teeth at 28 here in the big C word, right? And now he's 40. He just turned 40. He's got one kid on the way, and he's beating it. And he could share all the ins and outs and all the tests and all the vocabulary that comes with learning cancer, but he's been through it. So not only will he heal, not only will he create a story for his kids, but he'll help the next 20-year-old. Right? These things, you'll find your community, you'll find your voice. And if you've been through some stuff, I'm sorry, but use it as fuel to help others and to heal.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can do that.
Yeah. And dude, it's crazy. Speaking of that fire, like in LA, there was this young girl who posted a reel of her in front of her house. Young girl. She's probably still living with her parents' age. And she just posted, and she was just like, look at me in front of my house, which is gone. And then she starts crying. And she linked a GoFundMe. That video, when I saw it, had 4 million views, and her GoFundMe was like at 20,000. And it was just cool how people rallied around that idea. And I'm not saying like anything other than the fact that, I don't know if there's anything too much, unless you're just like spilling the beans all out there, and it's becoming a place for you to put a negative, connotation out there. But if it's in good faith, I think there's
people. I mean,
sky's the limit.
You can trick some of the people all the time, but you can't trip them all the time.
Yeah,
they'll figure you out.
Sure. So yeah, I think if creating content is a creative expression that fills a void, keep doing it.
Done.
It's a good use of your time.
Okay, so we don't have the name for this one, but this is a long John. Incidentally, I'm also a YouTube content creator over 40 who's blessed with a shy 10,000 subscriber base for a channel that admittedly deserves...
Can I pause real quick? Like, don't undermine the one. Like, he's just a shy 10.
Right.
Like, that's incredible. I just want to encourage people. 100 subscribers is incredible. 300 subscribers is incredible. When, we hit 100,000, I look at a photo that was like a stadium of 100,000 people. If you look at a photo with 10,000 people in it, you're going to be like, okay, this is a lot of people. So I just want to, don't lose sight of that along the journey.
That stadium picture brought some perspective.
Sure. Okay. Sorry.
So when I hear Michael explain that he didn't really get any traction for the first 10,000 videos, wow, talk about perseverance. Shows me how lucky I really am and that I've got no excuses to pump out more content on a more frequent basis.
How did you upload 10,000 videos and not really see traction?
Yeah, I think it was really 1,000 videos, if I remember that statement correctly from our first interview. But nonetheless, I wasn't doing it to gain traction, right? I was doing it because I had a bigger mission. My mission is not, the only thing that I've got right in this whole content creation thing is my day one mission, which was, Zuber, go out and create something that will outlive you by 50 years.
Dang.
And video is one of those things. I could be dead and gone tomorrow and my content will be out there created with good heart, good intention that will undoubtedly help people. I hope I have another 50 years of content creation ahead of me, but that's what I've been doing, right?
That's cool.
Don't do this for the money. The money will come. The money will be amazing. The impact will be amazing, but you got to start right. And again, as I said in the first video, I didn't even know you could get monetized. I had no traction for 1,000. I didn't know what I was doing. If you go back and look at my playlist, I was trying all kinds of things in the beginning, but I was moving forward. I was doing a video, 2 videos a day. And again, not edited, just stream of consciousness. Usually I have a question that I'm answering and I just move on and upload it. Don't overthink it. I mean, part of the process is getting better and figure out what works and what hits with the audience. And for me, the first thing that really hit was probably around the 3,000 video mark. I did something called the Daily Financial News. I do it live, unedited, but I do it live at 7:30. So now I have 200 people that are online with me between 7:30 and 7:31. They all show up and we go together. Oh, cool. And then those videos get 5,000 to 6,000 views a day and do that 5 days a week. So powerful. It took 2 years to get anything that even worked.
Yeah. How would you encourage the people though that are in that window of the 1 to 500 videos or the 1 to 1,000 videos where they're not getting traction? So they're getting discouraged and they're like, when is this going to kick off, or should I just stop now? Like what?
So for most people, I would say it's 1 to 50. Not many people are as broken as I am. Very few people would do 1,000 videos but I just had a different mission, right? I'm lucky enough to have the bag, so I wasn't doing it for the money. But what I tell people to do is the first 50 videos, nobody's going to watch. Your job is to get better. Find your voice, get comfortable with the camera, figure out lighting, figure out sound, get rid of the ums and the ahs and the awkward pauses, and just get comfortable with yourself. So again, I would never tell anybody to do 1,000 videos, but if we can get you through the first 50, and I would argue the faster you get through the first 50, like if you're doing 1 a week, you're going to go for a year and 99% of you are going to quit. So why not do the first 50 videos in 50 days or maybe 100 days? Because you got to shorten the time frame to get to the 50 because nobody watches them. You suck at it. You don't know what you're doing, all of that. So the faster you can get through the flywheel of 50, then you're to a point it's like, now after you get 50, you're a content creator. Before that, you're a poser, right? You're pretending,
sure.
You're trying. So the goal for most people is just to get to 50 and know that it gets easier after 50.
That's really good.
Yeah. I mean, my philosophy is if you're making videos, I love that are going to be valuable 50 years from now. I love that train of thought. I love it when when Jeff Fargo was like, I just want to have a conversation with somebody I would love a steak dinner with.
Yeah, I
like
love that.
just these cool trains of thoughts that will just give you good direction. I feel like I think it's personality based, because I know people that have hundreds of videos, and because they're not they're not doing it to get feedback. My thing is, consistency doesn't help you grow, intentional consistency. So in your attempts toward that 50, make sure you're picking out the one thing that you can say, oh, I can do that better. Oh, that tweak could be made.
Like
and
that.
then over time, yes, you'll get good. And then when people discover you, it's going to be like you're a new discovery, but to you, you've been at this thing for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, people are just finding even the podcast. I've been creating content forever, like since I was in high school. And then even before that even with like Think Media days, people are just now finding me. And they're like, this guy just really knows what he's talking about. Well, I'm glad we just met, but yeah, I've been at this for a minute. Yeah. So yeah, just know that, you know, your best days are always ahead.
Nice. This is a quick one. Princeton James says, this is probably my first time hearing an entire podcast from anyone. This is excellent. Thank you.
Dang, dude. Congratulations. Hey, what an honor it is to start the journey. Podcasting can change your life.
Yeah, but think about it, what he just told you, right? He watches a lot of content, but it doesn't finish. So the content you guys put together, you streamed together, resonated through and through. Every question, every topic, you kept it interesting. And it's rare for, you know, especially, you know, hour-long podcasts, people to listen straight through. So
yeah,
kudos to you guys for putting that together.
Yeah, and the average view duration on that podcast was, I think, 9 minutes, somewhere around there. So he was the one that stayed.
Dude, what's funny is I remember this week's drop, because this week's drop, I just end it with like something that's very clear. If you commented about something, that means you made it to the very end.
Yep.
Because I was like, if you want to have the greatest year of your life, make it a priority to have the best year spiritually. And people comment, I was like, dang, you got all the way to the last minute. But I say all that to say, I think there is something about having an intentional conversation, keeping it moving. We are not just pontificating here. But I appreciate that. Thanks for locking in.
Shout out. At Janelle Campbell, I can't wait to revamp. This video gave me the push and clarity I needed. I currently make videos on trauma and mental health, but it's not something I see myself doing long term. I want to focus on growth, self-esteem, etc., and I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope restarting my existing channel as opposed to starting a new channel isn't a mistake. Good luck to my fellow 40s club members.
Okay, so I'm going to pull the question out of that whole comment, and that is, if you're looking to pivot on your YouTube channel, should you start a new YouTube channel, or should you keep going on your current YouTube channel and just change it up? My answer to that question is, in light of 10 years or 15 years, which decision makes it not matter? My thing is, post it on the same channel, because in light of 15 years, it'll be more about that new thing that you made, and it won't be new anymore because you'll be 5 years in. So I think a lot of people that question comes from a place of thinking that by starting fresh, it'll give them more of an advantage or something. But let's just, you know, same with name changes. Like, do I, you know, name this, name it that? Nothing matters until you do it for a long period of time.
Yeah. What I would tell someone is, if your intention changes, just keep going. I mean, people will see you evolve.
Right.
I think it would be a huge mistake to dump one channel and start a new channel.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, think about some of the stuff on your YouTube channel, right?
Oh,
Some of the
100.
early videos are about cameras and photos and
Right.
all of that. So again, I would tell that person, just keep going.
Yeah. I actually remember before uploading this podcast, when we started, I put in the word the department or the depth in YouTube, and like nothing shows up. Right. And here we are, you know, a little year and over later, it's all my podcast. It's like, if something isn't a thing, do it for a while consistently and it will become a thing.
Absolutely. Love it.
At Speakerly HQ, over 50 club, almost 60 club here. This is awesome. I'm a former educator who hasn't posted one video yet. I'm building my pipeline in advance so I don't have to be stressed on creating the next video with a chance of missing a post date. Love this.
So what's really cool is you just said you were an educator. which I think gives you an advantage because educational content is probably, in my opinion, it's the easiest content to create, and it kind of is the best content to consume because when people are put in a learning mode, not only are they more bought into the information, but they just pay attention because they're learning. We're still humans. We still want to learn. And so I think it's a cool thing that you're an educator. I wouldn't get too hung up on the pipeline of videos. I do think it's wise if you want to get, 4, I like to say 4 in the can, like take a Saturday, shoot 4 videos, or take a weekend, shoot 4 videos, upload them. So that now you have a backlog or something, but don't dwell too much on these video ideas. You don't even know if they're going to like work really, really well. And you get feedback by posting the video.
Yeah. When I read that comment, I'm like, first off, love it. Congratulations, all of that. But back to what I said earlier, it's a race to 50. You may have some stuff created, but it ain't posted. It don't count. It ain't on the scoreboard. I read comments like that, and I feel there's a risk of perfection and delay. And like an educator, maybe you want to have the full curriculum lined out and when we're going to do the quizzes and the tests. No, record, post, record, post, record, post. Stop it. Once you get to 50, then you can create a year plan and all of that. But and maybe this is not this individual, but just as somebody who has seen this comment in 100 different ways, you're overthinking it.
Yes.
Stop it. Get a topic, record, post. Get a topic, record, post. Don't need a can. Don't need any inventory. Go.
Yeah. And I would say lean into the thing that you feel most inspired by.
Yeah.
It's like
because it should be easiest, right?
Yeah. That window of, not only will it be easier to create that video, your tonality in it will be more
Confidence
believable. And so, don't overthink it. And I also know like the perfectionism comes from the idea that the most people that are ever going to watch you are going to watch you in these first few uploads, and it'll be nobody. So I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. And so you're better off just making the video that's easiest to make.
Yes. Agreed. 100%.
At Once Upon an Orchid, yes, I just started this orchid channel because I've been growing orchids for over 3 decades, and I want to share my experiences with new
people are
growers.
so cool.
Yeah, they are, right?
Thank you for the inspiration.
Orchids. Man, talk about again, right? If you're
over 3 decades.
Yeah, dude, come on. You know how much stuff she can tell you about orchids?
It'll probably never run dry.
Never went. And have you ever had an orchid? Have you ever bought your wife an orchid or girlfriend an orchid? Those plants are expensive and die if you like sneeze on them.
Oh, wow.
They're just hard to, they're not easy to keep alive. They die. Overwatering, underwatering. They're crazy ass plants. So yeah. And who would have thought there would be an orchid? But I guarantee you, if she gets after it, I'm assuming it was a she, I think you said by the name, but
Hey, my name is Jim. And it's been orchids for 30 years.
Either way, man. But again, it's like if you have a passion, that's like point number 1 when you're putting your channel together. If you have a passion for multiple decades, and 3 decades, it certainly counts, go ham and it'll never feel like work.
Yeah. And I think the people are attracted to passion.
Yes.
So
it'll ooze out of her. It'll come out of the screen.
At Beauty and Vision 8. Okay, I'm back with my second comment. Mike is a genius, and I love his strategy of I can do it myself without the bells and whistles, less money spent, less problems. This is confirmation. Thank you for this interview.
Right? Again, just go. I mean, if when in doubt, go live. Never edit a video. The one thing I would tell folks getting started in a channel that was a hack for me was find other creators who have the same interest. Like going back to the orchid question. Think about this, right? You're an orchid channel, do a lot of talking head videos. But what if you brought on somebody who loved roses? What if you brought on somebody that loved, carnations? What about fertilizer? What about this? What about, plants indoors, outdoors? I mean, just think about having the orchid lover and the rose lover having a conversation about flowers and seeds. Just if you can get other little people who have equal passions, it's just so much fun.
Like the content is
endless, and it's passionate, and you could disagree respectfully. And the orchid's the best flower. No, the rose is the best flower. It's the hack for me on my channel was finding one, which started with Anna Kelly, REI mom, and then became 12 or 15 millionaires who have different experience, different backgrounds, different ages, different race, different colors. And we just respectfully talk and share. That's the hack to this. And that's how you can easily create a video a day if your schedule permits.
I actually just went on the video because I was just trying to look for like fresh comments, and some guy asked, he said, is there any other, has anyone seen a video / audio production better than this? I don't know.
There was a lot of, there was multiple, because I pay, like anytime I'm invited to speak on someone's channel, I make an intention for the first week to comment on every comment. And you guys had many comments like the best podcast we've seen. This
is it cool how simple it is?
It is.
It's fairly simple.
Yeah, but again, it's more about you guys, right? It's more about what you guys put together because you cared to put that out there. So,
okay, at Eva Onika, this is so inspirational. At this point in life, I'm learning how important consistency is. That the time goes by anyway. It's better to be several thousand videos unwatched at age 50, 60, and 70 than starting over and over and over and not gaining any headway. It all builds on itself.
Yes. Content creation is wealth creation.
No, that's exactly right. The key is consistency, is it? So declare openly in public, right? I would do an introductory video and I would declare when the videos are coming and I just wouldn't miss.
Yes.
And
be a person of your word too. If you're going to make that video, if you're going to tell those people, I always like to say, if you want to be anything like God, just keep your word. And so pre-decide and, be reasonable.
Why'd you look into my soul when you said that?
I think you took it as me looking at your soul. But there is power in decision making. I've learned that decide, if you break up the word decide, it means to cut, like de is to, side is cut. And when you decide something, you actually cut out other options. Yeah. So right now you're actually probably having a lot on your plate, or you're considering other things that you could be doing with your time, free time, or what have you. I think it's worthwhile to invest in content creation.
Next one, Jason Ray. This was life-changing for me. This comment's in all caps.
Pause. I'm sorry I keep interrupting. I just want to break down things sometimes. It's coming out of people's mouth, which means not only is he saying that, thinking it, other people are thinking it. Jason, you're telling me that a conversation between two guys was life-changing. That's what he's saying, which poses the opportunity for anyone who is listening or watching. You can make content that is life-changing. That's the greatest thing that I'll hear all day. That by taking the time to have turned on the cameras, you driving 25 minutes and us shooting that conversation influenced him. And we don't need a dollar. We don't need a penny. No. But when I think about influence, I don't think, and other than parenting, I don't think there's any greater influence than changing other people's lives.
No. And
that was the main reason you got to 13,000.
Yeah.
Was that right there?
It was everything I'm doing is to create life-changing, because once you have the bag, what are you going to do, right? So the thing I'm trying to do now is help other people, so that every time you hear that, you can never get tired of hearing your content is life-changing.
But it's also probably really humbling.
Oh, absolutely. Very.
I think about the entrepreneur that we went to go do a podcast with, he did, and we were at his house, and this is probably a $30 million house. And he was like, Omar, you changed my life, bro. And Omar was like,
crazy.
What, dude?
What do you mean?
No, I
You're
know.
doing okay.
I was like, what's your mortgage? And he's like, $14,000 a month. I was like, cool.
Good. Wow.
But he was like, you have no idea, Omar. He looked me in my eye. He looked me in my soul.
Yeah.
No, he's like, and then his friend called him. And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, bro, I'm here with Omar Al-Dagori. I was like, and this dude's had multiple exits. You never know who's watching your content. Sometimes these people don't always comment. Shout out to everybody who does. And, please comment. We read them. We see them.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And it does. But not everybody leaves comments. You probably have thoughts. And I'm grateful that you're even just consuming the content we're putting out. But yeah, you just never know. He might be the most affluent person I've ever met from posting videos online. Wow.
Cool.
At Journey to Be a Better You, I needed to see this. I have started and stopped way too many times. I said when I turned 50 this past July, it was my season to get back to the journey, and I have let life get in the way. I have a whole bunch of videos and shorts I've never posted. I'm getting back to it. I'll sit down tonight and restart my plan. Cheers to anyone else restarting their journey as well.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is people already have content sitting in their phones that they don't even have to create it. It's already been, you filmed it.
Go.
Just
Post.
upload it. I've also, if you're afraid to post the video that's already sitting on your phone, give your phone to somebody else and have them upload it for you.
Yeah, get it out there.
Like you can't do nothing and don't hurt them. Just let them do it. The next thing I would come up, dude, I love Myron's story, Myron Golden, because when he was 59, he told himself, I am going to give YouTube my next decade, I'm going to dedicate to YouTube. And he's almost or at 3 years in, and he's about to pass 1 million subscribers. He didn't make the goal, I'm going to reach millions of subscribers. His goal was, his goal was something he can control. I'm going to be consistent on YouTube for the next 10 years of my life.
And see what's what.
Yeah. And so I think that the approach, remove yourself from, results based, planning or goal setting, and make it more, output goals. Instead of outcome goals, make them output goals, because you can control outputs. And so in our case, we like to make sure we get at least 1 upload a week. And so that's our output goal, 52 uploads a year. If we hit that, we hit our goal, not whatever comes from that, because we can't truly control that. So I would just encourage everybody to increase your time horizon for success.
Yeah.
And it'll lower the pressure to show up the way you have to show up, every time.
Yeah. And again, I want to go back to that. I kind of hit on this earlier. I cringe or pull back when I hear plan. I'm going to revisit my plan. I'm going to redo this. All of that tells me is you're not in front of the camera, right? This YouTube thing is about being in front of the camera. And again, where I'm at, it's like, hey, you got to get through the first 50, it just doesn't matter. You got to get past that hurdle. So I just cringe every time I hear plan and vision casting.
Yeah.
Record, go.
Yeah. Speaking of that, this person just said, must be overthinking this stuff as usual. I've been putting my channel together with working on a channel picture. I'm going to just pick up the camera and just share. Getting behind the camera is my hardest part.
Yeah, getting in front of the camera is probably what they meant is the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are comfortable vision casting and whiteboarding and channel names and thumbnails, but oh my God, get me in front of the camera, I turn white. It's scary, right?
Yeah.
All that other stuff could come.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I don't make New Year's resolutions. I mentioned this. I was sharing about this. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I just live by principle, and living by principle allows things that I would desire to happen usually come to pass. I feel like what most people should do, rather than the plan or the vision of things, just what's the principle here? The principle is be consistent. Just live by that. And then over time, you can't build a brand overnight. You can build a brand over time. You can't build an audience overnight. You build an audience over time. And so, yeah, whatever that obstacle is, like I actually say, so sometimes here, let's go in the process real quick. Okay. I got this obstacle. Dude, it just takes me too long to edit video. Don't edit the video. Obstacle killed. When I get in front of the camera, it just makes, have somebody with you doing it. If that's intimidating, just don't look at the selfie screen. If you're using your phone, use the back of the phone. That way you don't see yourself and you're just talking. Like, okay, killed that obstacle. And then you're just going to upload it straight. Don't edit it. What's another obstacle? Thumbnail. Like, I don't know graphic design. I mean, Canva's pretty easy, or you can just pick a screen grab that YouTube chooses for you.
Done.
And okay, cool. What else? Give me another obstacle or objection, or I will crush it with a vengeance. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm looking at my soul when you say.
No, but like what? Yeah, give me something else that like somebody. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I would just say, get a phone clip in your car. You probably have a solid commute.
Go.
Hit record in the car. Like what? Give me another one. I don't have time to create.
Again, it's just the world is full of excuses. I think content creation for a lot of folks is interesting because it's deemed to be sexy.
Mm.
It just is. But if you really are motivated to help in whether it's orchids or getting through trauma or documenting your journey, if you make it about that thing, creating the content should be the easiest thing, right? For a lot of people, it just takes practice, right? Being in front of a camera, having these 3 different cameras and 3 microphones around all of us can be intimidating. But I tell you what, if you do it 50 times, it won't be intimidating anymore.
Sure.
Action kills everything.
The objection I was about to say was, what if someone, their videos aren't as crispy as yours, or the quality's not there?
You're Omar. I mean, I'm Omar and you're not.
No. Just so you know, none of us are Omar.
No.
Nobody's
Omar.
crispy like him.
No. What if my videos don't perform well because they're high quality. My videos perform well because they're high value. So don't think for a second that because it looks good and sounds good is why it's successful. Is it a part? Probably. Does it make it more easier to listen and watch? Sure. But I've watched so many videos that are outside, onboard microphones, on the phone, built in. Don't think it has to be a certain thing. Whatever your idea, just take it, crumble it up, and throw it out.
Done.
Shout out to Cooking with Alpha Dior. I'm 46 and took a leap of faith and just started. Don't worry if no one's watching right away. Just grab your phone and begin doing what you love and record it. Talking to the camera also can be therapeutic.
Yeah.
There you go. Nothing to say. Just go.
There's so many.
If you hate your voice or hate how you look on video for a while, just don't watch yourself back.
Yeah.
At some point, I don't know. I mean, this could be personality based, but when I see professional athletes watch their game tape, I think in the same way, if you desire to be better, if you desire to create better content, it'd be beneficial to get over that insecurity of not liking how you look or sound and start judging yourself.
You know what? You just talked to my soul.
Sorry.
Because I've done, 15,000 videos and I've never watched a single one of them.
Okay, then I would say you could have saved yourself some time.
I'm admitting this.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, you're absolutely right. I'm saying because if I would have watched, I would have learned faster. I would have had a feedback loop.
You would have picked yourself apart a little bit in a healthy way.
No,
yeah.
I'm trying to acknowledge that is wonderful advice, but I'm also putting it out there that I'm a freaking moron that's never done that.
Good stuff.
There's a lot of people just saying thank you. There's 615 comments. That's unreal on this video.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Any other let's just hit it.
I'm trying to look for questions, but it's mostly just people throwing
love on Omar.
Yeah, just
this dude, they love you, bro. That it was the scruff, man. That scruff was like, he's a human. He's real.
He's real.
Woody Harrelson.
I saw that.
Yeah, I think sometimes the approach to this information, sometimes it could be to feed a passion, an internal desire. Others, it's like it could just be purely for business. They're both right? If you're over 40 and you've been in real estate, you've been an educator, if you've been a service provider, if you've been doing your thing for a long time, and just by turning on the camera, there's a lot of people that come through my world who do great business, and they even have a desire to one day mentor other people starting other businesses, but it'll be hard to do that if they don't share their experiences. So even in the sense, maybe one day, you want to do it in a form of creating a business from this thing, or you want to immediately use it as a form of advertisement. It's all money. It's all great. So I would just encourage, you to just, again, make the video that comes easiest to you to start with and upload it or go live.
Yeah, what I would tell again, this crowd we spoke to are the over 40s, even all the way up to 75, is you have a story to tell. It's probably very easy for you to tell it. And whether you know it or not, there is a younger generation that's going to benefit from your story. And for some of them, it might be good. I'm not going to do that thing. I'm not going to make that mistake. And, as some of these comments have said, it was life-changing. So realize that that's out there for you. So if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, pick up the phone. I mean, again, use your phone. Don't edit. Go live. Get consistent. Have some fun.
At Doing It Over 40 says, while I'm sure it's the algorithm, this is the second time I've seen something like this. At 47, I'm having a difficult time determining which niches I should focus on, but I started my channel some years ago and have not been consistent. So I'm going to really get consistent with it as soon as I figure out what I want to talk about. LOL.
Oh, let's talk about that. So you're you're 47,
niche.
right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're into a million different things. How do you quote unquote pick a niche?
Well, again, I would tell you stop overthinking it. Again, I'm a living, breathing example of this. If you go back to my channel in the early days, I would tell you just to look at my long list of playlists. And if you scroll to the bottom, it means the ones that were created and I haven't used in a long time, right? The ones at the bottom. I was all over the place. So if you're somebody that's got 17 different loves and passions, record content in all of them and then see which one takes off, see which one feels good, see which one gravitates to the audience. I just feel there are so many excuses, and this is just another excuse. I have too much to talk about. That's a funny excuse. Just go. Just stop it already. Pick something, go. And if you want to, let's say you have 17 passions and they're all equal. Great. Record a video on one today, the other one tomorrow, and then alternate every 17 days. I guarantee you in the span of 3 or 4 months, you will figure out the one or two that you feel best about, that the audience reciprocates with, and then just keep going. And then, oh, by the way, don't change your channel, just like we talked about earlier. Just start creating content on those two.
Yeah.
But that's just a weird, I cringe when I hear excuses like that.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
any
yeah.
excuse
Well, okay.
not to record.
What about this excuse? I'm 44. Unfortunately, I haven't been through anything.
You want to hit that first? Or you want me to go?
You haven't been there. I just think that's not true. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
Because like your idea of been through means you like hardship or something like that.
Or maybe they just think nothing is interesting.
Interesting, probably.
You know, I mean, I'm going to say, I'll be honest. Like, yeah, I don't believe everybody's interesting. I believe everybody has a story.
Okay.
You know, I think there's probably something that they were probably interested in that they are undermining, I would imagine. But, you know, I also want to say, hey, dude, you know what, man? How about everybody who's like really thinking about it? Just don't do it then. Like,
Well, again, I think there's three. I think there's 3 ways to get started on YouTube. If you're 44 years old, I'm gonna guess you have a passion for a decade or more. But let's just say you don't. You went to school, you went to work. You when you got home, you ate and slept. Like you're not interesting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, off the board. Number 2, you have some trauma or some hard experience that you want to put out the world. Okay, you're 44, life's been perfect. You grew up middle class, mom and dad are still married. You know, whatever. Okay, great, not that. Number 3, document a new journey. All right, you're 44 and got a boring life. Well, let's document you doing something. Do you want to learn a second language? Do you want to travel? Do you want to get fit? Do you want to make money? Do you want to do this? Do you declare what you're going to do from 44 to 50? Document that journey. There are 3 ways to get started. If you're boring, not that. No trauma, not that. 3, pick something you're going to do that you're a rookie at and go show us how you grow.
Yep.
Stop complaining. Let's go.
I bet you he does travel. I don't know. Like if
He's got to do something. It can't be that boring, right? He's 44.
Yeah, dude, you got credit cards. Show
Yeah,
us how
let's
to get
go.
some points,
What the
man.
hell?
Someone says 2 questions for Michael. Is 62 years old, still employed, in parentheses, too late to start?
Absolutely not. I would
Clearly not.
again, if you are an employee, and that's what I consider myself at, I would have killed to start my channel 5 years before I quit. I just would have rolled into the next thing and been rocking and rolling. I could have, because when you're employed, you're not thinking about the money. Like sometimes when you get unemployed, you're like, oh my God, how do I get my next paycheck? But you're 62, you're a senior executive or whatever. You want to create a new, like you're a tech worker, but you want to create content about making cheese or making wine. Start that for 5 years at 62, 67, you roll into the 2.0 era and you're rolling.
Yeah.
So not too old.
I saw a post on Instagram a couple of days ago. This girl, she's breaking down how much she made full-time job and then how much she made. She said like, even though it's my side hustle, she's like, I feel like it was like a full-time job, her content side.
Mm-hmm.
So she was about a 92,000 after taxes employee salary. Mm-hmm. And then with content, she made like 98,000. But what's crazy is when she broke it down monthly, she said January, $0, February, $170, March, $1,100. And then it
Beautiful.
went like, and then the
Stair-step.
falls, it was crazy. And it was brand deals.
Awesome.
But yeah, just, I think people, yeah, the opportunities will only happen if you just stick with it. And so, yeah.
How do you locate, quote unquote, your brand? I have a lot of biz and RE experiences, real estate experiences. I know the professional pest control biz backwards and forwards. Is there an AI chatbot you can input experiences in and spit out possible, quote unquote, brands?
I don't know what they're
I don't know
trying
what
to
he's
think about
asking.
the word brand. Maybe thinking video ideas.
Yeah, I think what he's going for there is, again, when I read that question, it's really, what I would do for that person is I would try to declare a city. Like my boy Mike owns Gary, Indiana for real estate. I would, like, if I was a pest control or whatever, I would try to declare your region, Southern California, declare your state, whatever it is, talk about the laws and all. So I wouldn't overthink it. I don't know that there's an AI chat bot that would do that. I would just, what's your target market and own that.
Good.
Things AI. Everyone wants AI to do it nowadays.
Yeah, the cheat code AI.
Yeah. I mean, but it can feed you video ideas. But
I'm not sure if it's a brand idea, but
yeah. But I would say, I still like you. I would love people to just create from a place of inspiration more than
yes,
a computer telling you what to do. Good.
Cool.
Well, dude, appreciate you.
Yeah,
Definitely
this
struck
is
a
fun.
chord.
I've never done one of these before. Going through the comments, seeing what we got right, what we got wrong. That was helpful.
I appreciate you guys for listening and watching and always leaving comments. Really, it's such a cool thing to be able to help you in this context. And shameless plug, if you want to go deeper, I do a almost a monthly virtual event. It's kind of like a 5 days of coaching and teaching. If you want some clarity, there's even it's a challenge. And so there's even times where within that challenge, we give you things to do. It might push you out of your comfort zone, but at least you're getting the direction and the community around it and all that stuff. And Mike, go ahead.
No, I would just tell you the content to cash challenge is something, if you have any serious about getting started, it's structured, it's a recipe. I don't know any better way to get started. So I would just tell you to pony up the $99 or $199 if you want some Q&A. So for a lot of people, it's the getting started, and why not spend a little money to get your ass kicked to get going. So go.
Good. What do you think, Art?
Join the content.
No, come on. No, in regards to
it is the most amazing experience.
Oh my God. You suck.
No,
Just kidding.
You guys need to be on the channel more, because clearly you guys struck a nerve with that second video, that second podcast. The group of 2.0. So you guys got a little niche fan base there for sure.
No, it is crazy because even the high level entrepreneurs, they all got started in content after 40.
Yep.
Wild. Anyway, you keep doing what you're doing though, Gen Z.
The Shredditor.
All right, guys, you guys have a good one. We'll see you.